Fuse so good, fix my ship. The words of Empress Xyla echoed through the Grand Hall of the Galactic Union Embassy, dripping with frustration. Her royal flagship, the Starweaver, a marvel of catho engineering, was crippled. For 3 agonizing weeks, it sat inert in Earth's orbit, a silent monument to galactic failure. 28 of the galaxy's most brilliant minds engineers, from species that had conquered spacetime itself, had tried and failed to diagnose the problem. It ran quintillion-point diagnostics, simulated quantum foam instabilities, and even consulted ancient stellar mechanics texts. Nothing. The Empress, a being whose very presence commanded obedience across 1,000 star systems, was grounded. On Earth, this backwater planet, as she saw it, was the last place she wanted to be stranded. Her patience had worn thinner than a vacuum-sealed nutrient wafer. The 29th expert, a human, was her last resort, a recommendation made out of sheer desperation by the human ambassador. Showers, not optimistic. Down on the planet's surface, I watched my dad Mark get ready. To me, he wasn't expert number 29. He was just Dad, the guy who could fix anything. My broken bike chain, fixed with a paperclip and some pliers, the temperamental toaster that only toasted one side, he took it apart on the kitchen table and had it working perfectly by breakfast. His garage wasn't a high-tech lab. It was a chaotic sanctuary of old tools, random spare parts, and the faint, comforting smell of motor oil and sawdust. Hueca. He wasn't a certified galactic engineer. He was a retired mechanic and a self-taught tinkerer who believed that every problem had a solution if you just looked at it from the right angle. When the sleek, black government shuttle landed in the field behind our house, it felt like a scene from a movie. 2 stern-looking officials escorted my dad, who was carrying his old beat-up red toolbox. He looked hilariously out of place, a man in a flannel shirt and worn jeans about to board a vessel designed for interstellar dignitaries. I saw him give a reassuring wink to my mum before he stepped inside. Aboard the Starweaver, the atmosphere was tense. Empress Xyla greeted him not with a welcome, but with a challenge. "Human," she began, her voice a low hum that vibrated through the deck plates. "I have been told your species possesses a unique form of problem-solving. My finest engineers, with millennia of accumulated knowledge, are baffled. Show me this human brilliance." Dad just nodded, unfazed by the 7-foot-tall alien Empress radiating waves of irritation. 2. He walked past holographic displays, showing incomprehensible equations and engineers in shimmering uniforms, who looked at his toolbox with utter disdain. He followed the lead engineer, a being named Grell, to the heart of the ship, the engine room. The Starweaver's engine was a work of art, a silent, glowing sphere of contained energy pulsed at the center of a cavernous chamber. It was beautiful, complex, and utterly dead. Grell launched into a highly technical explanation. "We've recalibrated the graviton polarity, purged the primary plasma conduits, and even resequenced the initiation matrix at the quantum level. All diagnostics read optimal, yet the core will not achieve stable ignition." My dad didn't seem to be listening to the words. Instead, he was just looking. He walked a slow circle around the massive engine, his eyes scanning every surface, every joint, every conduit. He ran a calloused hand along a coolant pipe, then knelt down, peering at the base of the machine. Devalian. Engineers exchanged condescending glances. Was he going to try and hit it with a wrench? After a few minutes of silent observation, Dad stood up and pointed to a small, unassuming panel near the floor. "Can you open that for me?" he asked. Grell scoffed. "That is merely a manual override access port for the tertiary coolant system. Irrelevant. It's been sealed since the ship was commissioned." "Just humor me," Dad said, his voice calm and steady. With a sigh that could have frozen helium, Grell tapped a command into his wrist device. The panel hissed open. Behind it was a mess of wires and a small, cylindrical component, no bigger than a can of soda. Dad leaned in close, pulling a small flashlight from his pocket. He squinted, then let out a low whistle. "Well, there's your problem," he said. Empress Xyla, who had been observing from a viewing platform, descended, her footsteps echoing in the sudden silence. "Explain," she commanded. Dad pointed with a screwdriver. "This part right here," he said, tapping the cylinder, "is the starter relay for the coolant pump. See, that little bit of discoloration on the contact point? Looks like it's corroded. The diagnostic system says it's fine because electronically, the circuit is complete. But the corrosion is acting like a resistor, preventing it from drawing enough power to actually kick the pump on. The engine's safety protocols won't let it start without the coolant system being fully active. It's a fail-safe. The assembled alien experts stared in disbelief. Corrosion, a physical, mundane problem. They had been looking for a flaw in quantum physics, not space rust. Grell was sputtering. But the ship's internal environment is perfectly regulated. Corrosion is impossible, is it? Dad asked, turning to the Empress. Your Majesty, have you ever had a cup of what's that fizzy stuff you were all drinking? The blue liquid. The Empress blinked. You mean Cathar energy nectar? Of course. Someone must have spilled a drop, Dad said, pointing again with the screwdriver. Probably during a maintenance check years ago. It seeped in here, and over time, the sugar in it ate away at the contact. It's a 1 in a billion fluke, but it happens. He then opened his red toolbox. The alien engineers flinched as if he'd pulled out a forbidden weapon. He ignored them and took out a small piece of sandpaper and a can of contact cleaner. Mind if I? He asked, looking at Grell. Speechless, Grell could only nod. With the delicate precision of a surgeon, my dad carefully sanded the tiny contact point, blew the dust away, and gave it a quick spray with the cleaner. He wiped it with a clean cloth from his pocket, then looked up. All right, try her now. An uncomfortable silence filled the room. This couldn't possibly work. The solution was too simple, too primitive. With a gesture from the Empress, Grell reluctantly entered the ignition sequence. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a low hum began to build. The central sphere of the engine flickered, then blazed to life with a brilliant, stable light. A wave of pure power washed through the ship, and the deck plates vibrated with renewed energy. Thon. On the main bridge, consoles lit up, and the ship's AI announced, all systems nominal. Starweaver is fully operational. The engine room was silent, save for the beautiful thrum of a working FTL drive. The 28 greatest engineers in the galaxy stood with their mouths agape. Empress Xyla slowly floated down until she was eye level with my dad. Her expression was no longer one of frustration, but of pure, unadulterated awe. She looked from the glowing engine to the simple man in the flannel shirt holding a piece of sandpaper. 28 masters of theoretical engineering, she said, her voice filled with a new kind of respect. And not one of them thought to check if something was dirty. She then did something no one had ever seen her do before. She bowed her head slightly. You have my gratitude, Mark, son of Earth. Your species' reputation is well earned. It seems we have focused so much on the complexities of the cosmos that we have forgotten the simple elegance of a hands-on approach. My dad just gave a small, humble smile. No problem. Glad I could help. Closes toolbox with a satisfying click. Now, if you don't mind, my daughter's waiting. I promised I'd help her fix her laptop. And that's the story of how my dad, a retired mechanic from a small town on Earth, fixed the most advanced ship in the galaxy with a bit of sandpaper and common sense, reminding the universe that sometimes the most brilliant solutions aren't found in a quantum equation, but in an old red toolbox. Ting. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of human ingenuity. See you next time.